Well, g'day everybody. NotJah Witness here for a NotJah Witnessy thing. Today or tonight for y'all, it's today for me, we are doing a Q&A. Just let us know that all the audio sounds good. This is the first, I think, stream that I've done by myself. So it's going to be fun. I have a whole lot of questions that have come into me from Twitter and Discord and my YouTube community section that I'm going to be going through and answering to the best that I can, I suppose. If anyone in the chat there, if you in the audience has questions, ask away. I'll try to catch them and answer as we go. If I do miss any though, please feel free to ask again, and I'll try and catch it again. But at the same time, I'm going to try and focus a bit on everyone else's questions first, and that way, if y'all have a question that you ask, it won't necessarily get doubled up in everybody else's. Hey, Cirrus, good to see ya. And Native Atheist and Zero, great to see y'all. Thanks for dropping by. Hey, Doc. Alrighty. So I'm going to start with Twitter, because there was a whole lot of them on Twitter. And actually, I need to pull up the ones on my YouTube community too. I've not got them open, so I'll just quickly open that before I start. Community, and it should be the top or close to the top. Yeah, there we go. All right, I got them open. Okay, so we'll start with Twitter. In no real order other than what is at the top of the list, and then I'm going to scroll down. So, how can I do this and watch what's going on? I'm just going to adjust my tabs so I can see everything. There we go, I can see my chat again. Cool. Alright, so the first one is from Faithless Southerner. Excuse me. Evans asks, do pineapples go on pizza? Well, there are pizzas that pineapples do belong, especially here in Australia. We tend to enjoy the Hawaiian pizza, or just pineapple pizza, ham and pineapple, whatever combinations you want. But at the same time, not everyone digs it, so you just don't order it. Whatever floats your boat. I personally enjoy pineapples on pizza. Then we've got Mooney Looney. Oh wait, no, I think that he's answering. See, people are answering my questions, but that's okay. I'll find the next one. There we go, from our pheasant. Faithless Pheasant, Josiah, how many koalas does it take to take down a kangaroo? Now this is quite an intricate question here. There's a bit of minutiae. If you're talking about your standard koalas, it's going to take a good 7 or 8 to take down an average size roo. You won't go, up against a big red, no chance at all. But if it's a drop bear, one of those ones, you only need one to take down a big red. Those things are vicious. I've got some... Why is window the opposite of apple? What? Serious? What? I have no idea. And fruit does sometimes belong on pizza. I tend to personally, one fruit and then the rest is meat and cheese. That works for me. Next question. Stephen Bauman. I hope I pronounced that right. What is the air velocity of an unladen swallow? And obviously I can't just answer that. Are you talking African or European? So get back to me there, Stephen. Jen with one N. What is something you hate doing but have to do? Something I hate doing but I have to do. Waking up and getting out of bed, and then at the same time going to sleep at night. Neither of those things I particularly like doing, but I have to do them. What is something you'd love to do but can't? Not sleep. So if humans didn't have to sleep, that would be a whole lot of extra time in our day. But that's not very practical for most of us. Artemis Brain Sample. My lovely, fuck you, Artie. He asks, who the hell are you? Really, it's a mystery. I am an enigma. Brantley's a mod. Of course you're a mod, but don't say... Like, why wouldn't you be? Sorry, I started reading up and trying to catch up with what I'm not reading. But yeah, why wouldn't you be, man? Yes, I'm an enigma-arty. What is my quest? Asks Stephen Bowman again. My quest. Mainly, I know it's going to probably sound silly, but it's to expose the Watchtower. I want to try and end that cult. I mean, that's something that's really close to home, and literally. And yeah, that's really what I'm all on about. Okay, serious questions from the Iowan, my buddy, my bro. The Iowa asks, what is the most valuable lesson you've learnt over the last year? Probably, and I'm still slowly coming to terms with it, but it's, with the acceptance of, you know, how limited time we have, I value life a lot more, my own and other people's, and I suppose that's sort of a weird lesson to have learnt through a deconversion. Oh, it's not weird, it's just like for that to be the takeaway, but that really is for me a big takeaway because I cherish life. What is the most important thing, again from the Island, what is the most important thing you have learnt about yourself over the last year? What is the... that I've learnt about myself, that I have a lot more to offer than I've ever given myself credit for. Obviously that, I don't know, that there's a reason that I do this, and it's given me a lot of confidence, I suppose, where I never really had a lot. And I still lack confidence in certain areas, but that's something that, like, I've really overcome a lot of barriers that I felt before, like whether it be emotional or mental or whatever. And so learning, yeah, like just experiencing and realizing what I am able to do, that's been quite the learning curve, to be honest. And third question from the Iowa, what's the best advice you can give for someone just leaving the JWs? It depends what stage they're at, really, and it depends what they're leaving behind. I mean, the best thing in any generalized sort of way you could put it is find not necessarily a community, but a group of people that have been there. There is a huge amount of X-dubs online, and they're all very supportive, especially of new people that are trying to leave. So reach out to people, get to know people, find your own group that, you know, can help you, because there's a lot of struggling in leaving these things, and sometimes having someone to communicate with, and even somebody that's been there before, can help you lead, you know, in a sort of a healthy direction. But yeah, ultimately find other people like that you can connect with, so that you're not feeling alone, or that you know, you've done something wrong, because you haven't. It's just going to be really scary. Alright, I got lots of orange and my name popping up in the chat, so I'm going to quickly check. G'day Compelled, how you doing, buddy? Who in the atheist community would you refer to as a flaming bag of shit? Flaming bag of shit. Well, like, obviously that's going for the Tony Reid, but I would actually have more fun now saying that that's Jimmy, just to see if it pisses him off. I love Jimmy. He's awesome. But he should get a lot of that credit for that, because that was all like really inspired from his song. So he's awesome. Puff. Do those wet bags they put on the front of trucks over there in Australia really work to keep your stuff cool? I have never seen that in my life. I have no idea. I would have to look that up to even know what you're talking about. And I lived out in the hottest of the outback, and I don't remember ever seeing that. Brantley, do you coach a track team, or did I mishear something a while back? Yeah, no, I don't. I think you'd be mistaking it for when I was doing one of my grading videos, and the person that scripts those for me is a teacher, and he's a coach. Sorry, they are a teacher, they are a coach. My apologies, XC. And yeah, that would have been probably in reference to what they do. And a bloody good one at that too. Where are we? That was Brantley. If you'd had to choose between Zeus and Odin, who would it be? Oh, that's tough. I don't know, because I have like memories of those being just fun characters, but I never really got I never got to know them as intimately as obviously a lot of other people do, yet anyway. So I wouldn't know enough to really say one or the other. Although, I can't. Yeah, no, I can't. I like the name Odin more than Zeus. Zeus to me is a weird name, but Odin sounds cool. Hey Wellington, good to see ya, and Christy. Okay, so we'll scroll back down, see what I've missed. So whole competition, yeah. Main gun, did you know how to make and edit videos before you started my channel, or did you learn as I go? I knew how to do, for the most part, making and editing, and videos was always my thing, and I still suck at it, so... Zero, I bet Jimmy would eat potato chips in your general direction on hearing that. I bet he would. And being that he'd be the third or so person to do it, yawn. Where do I find all my awesome Google Hangout chat GIFs? Basically, I just do Google search, and whatever search term is relevant, and then I find what the funniest is. And I throw it into Manicams, which is what I'm using to throw myself up here for the stream, and use that as like in Hangouts instead. Hey Michelle, good to see ya. Wellington, you got a question there. Oh, scrolling a bit too fast. Since many in the US say that climate change is a hoax, as it's really cold here, are you ready to deny climate change? Fuck no. You kidding me? Yes, it's cold there, and it's really fucking hot here. And the thing is, our winters are becoming less and less. And like, we'll get maybe a week or 2 weeks at max of winter, pretty much. So, yeah, fuck off with that. But there are enough people here that live here that deny it, so bloody hell, can't win. Okay, that looks like, excuse me, most of them from there. I'll go back over to my Twitter. Finished with our islands. Divorce religion. Oh no, that's an answer. What am I wearing? Neil. Our 604 legendary, extraordinary atheist wants to know what I'm wearing. To be quite frank, I'm literally wearing nice bright red boxer briefs, and that's it. I am streaming naked, like I promise. And because as I just said, it's fucking hot here. It's actually not too bad today. It's pretty good. What do koalas smell like from the Iowan? The wild ones, like, I mean, if you go to a zoo, the ones that they give you, sometimes they'll give them a, shower every now and then and conditioner or whatever, like they'll clean them up a bit, so they might not smell so bad. The wild ones don't smell so great, but most animals are like that. They've got their distinctive smells and scents to track each other and catch each other and keep away from each other. So, But it's not like, you know, you walk into a forest and I can smell a koala. Doesn't work that way. And I do like what Fab says, doesn't it depend on the shampoo? Oh, I love you. Okay, who is my favourite? Mrs. Snarky or Neil the 604 Atheist? That is not fair. That is an unfair, like, you're asking who is, like, the bestest from, like, my sister and my brother. You can't do, like, you don't do that. That's not cool. But, having said that, no, I'm not gonna. Oh, shit. What's next? I'll have a look at the chat. Have I missed anything, folks? Oh, I'm gonna get a strike. The weather is getting more extreme. Well, yes, it is, Mark. And it's annoying that we can't do as much about it as other nations, and they're all stubborn. What colour is... They're red. Bright red. I can't believe I'm like... What a thing to ask. See, if I was a chick... Oh. I can't... That's not towards me. No, okay, back to Twitter. What is exactly NotJah Witnessy stuff, and how would one know that they were doing it properly? From alias fake name. Well, that is a tricky one. It's a combination of being a NotJah, a little bit of witnessy, and you got to do stuff and things. With a good combination of that, you know you got it right. All right. Next, down the line to Dave. Compelled Unbeliever asks, do you want to move to an area that is more friendly to atheists? It's not all that bad here. Like, I suppose I compare it to America, where it's really, really, really bad. But, yeah, no, it's not high on my priorities. Like, if it got worse, sure, you know, if I was living in Southern America, I love you all, but I would not stay there. If I was being, you know, treated harshly in any way, I'd just be out. Like, but yeah, at the same token, I lived my entire life beforehand being picked on, so it wouldn't be that new to me. Serious question from the alt-height. My buddy Grumpy Old Dave, who actually is short as fuck. I love you, Dave. Serious question, are you embarrassed by the fact that Grumpy Old Dave is both smarter and sexier than you? Well, yeah, and it's embarrassing because you're shorter than me. Like, you've got everything else going for you, but I've got the height, you know? Like, I can stand tall and proud. I love you, Dave. What is the nature of reality? I have a better question. What is the reality of nature? Think about it. That to me is a good question. Otherwise, I'd answer with 42. Frankie Kloss. G'day. Is our dreams from the unconscious or the brain? Well, your unconscious or your subconscious is sort of something within the brain area, so I think they're both one and the same, but yeah, I'm not quite sure if you want to specify that one a bit more, but I don't know, it'd be within your unconscious mind, like you're dreaming. That's what it is. It's sort of, I don't know. I ain't no friggin' scientist. Gemma, Scout. How do you celebrate events now that you can? Every J-dub I've met in real life, not proselytizing at my door, was the biggest sourpuss ever. Do J-dubs not know that you attract more followers with a smile than with a bad attitude? Yeah, they're meant to have a smile, and then their message doesn't make you smile. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I was quite the stickler about that myself, and it's irritating, because one half, like for me anyway, one half you just want to be involved and have the fun, and I'm not a kid anymore, so it's not like I can go and relive those moments of childhood, getting to play with all the kids doing Christmas activities or whatever it is. But How do I do it now? It was my Christmas special the other month. That's sort of how I can do it now, because I still can't do it publicly. Like, this is what I can do. And even this, I have to be careful of who hears me. So it's not like I can have a cake and, balloons and stuff like that, or a Christmas tree. Yeah. So it's still a bit tough, but at the moment it's actually, for me, it's my birthday. It's been 1 year since my channel started. I forgot to even put that in the description, but yes. So this is how I'm celebrating my birthday. With a Q&A for all my lovely, lovely followers and friends. Hey Prisma, love you buddy. Good to see ya. What is my best drop bear repellent? Brantley, it would be definitely Marmite, because they can really tell the difference. But you don't want to use Vegemite, because they love that stuff. They're Aussies. What is your favourite cartoon and favourite old school Nicktoon from the Atheist Rationale? Long running cartoon, it'd probably have to be South Park. I love, Simpsons and a few others there, but they don't really, like, Simpsons is longer running obviously, but if I had to have one, it would go South Park. That being said, as for Nicktoons, or those kids ones, oh my god, I still have so many. Probably my actual favourite though, that it'd be either Rugrats or the Wild Thornberrys, which ironically is made by the same artists. I love those. Don't know why. I still like watching them, yay for me. I'm a child at heart, so. Alrighty, happy birthday, yay, happy birthday to me. That's something I've never really said, or at least not in that way. Normally like, oh yay, another birthday, whoop-de-doo. Pardon, I'm going back to the tweeter for a bit. What's next? Jen with 1N. What's my favourite food? I don't know. I like all sorts of random things. I don't like a lot of, like home-cooked meals are good. Like a nice roast chicken, or like, I don't know. Like I don't often think about things like that. It's just half the time I'm either too busy to think about it, or I've realized that, oh look, I have time and I have food in the fridge, or somebody else has just cooked me food, which is even better. I mean, I all-rounder would probably be pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? But I like a good sandwich, because, I'm boring like that. But even just steak and veg, that's one of the best meals you could ever have. So, and what pets have I ever had? I've had cats, I've had dogs, I've had rats. I think that's pretty the extent of it. Because basically, and even them, I can't really have a cat anymore. I can't even have a rat anymore, because I live with my folks and they're not too fond of them. So that's I have a dog. I have a doggo, so that's all good. I see I have questions in chat. Prisma asks, what's your favourite sex position? Missionary, doggy style, taking grandma to Applebee's, Tokyo Sandblaster. I don't even have a clue if that's even really something, but it sounds amazing. I think, Prisma, if you really want to know, you'll have to come and visit me to find out. Do I like Vegemite on raw oysters? I'm not a fan of oysters. I know, this is going to shock everyone. I like Vegemite, but I don't like oysters. Like, what the fuck? You can eat that disgusting shit, but you don't like it? Yeah, whatever. My taste buds are all fucked up, eh? Looks like it. Hey, Robert. How you doing, buddy? And Shane, good to see ya. My funny fronted friend, yay. And Disc Lord and Saviour. So, what else have we got? Do I like Vegemite? Yes, Jen, I do. Can you send me some Tim Tams? I'd hope to. That'd be. I'll try and work that out because Tim Tams are awesome. Describe an experience from Anus is the Frog. Describe any experience in the Australian wilderness that I've had. I grew up in the Australian wilderness. I mean, my backyard was the outback, literally. Like, we lived on the edge of town, so, you know, after school I'd come home and just be, woof, off gone into the bush. What's a good story? I mean, one time, it's pretty flat out there, right? Like, there ain't many hills or anything, and even when there are, they're really, the gradients are not very large, like, so hills and mountains or whatever, you don't know, none of that. What there is this one lump of dirt that rises like 100 or so meters in the air, and it's like, who is it? I can't remember the name of it, which is embarrassing, but it was called a knob. Whoever's knob. Starlight's knob? I can't remember. And yeah, it's just this little peak, and that was a lot of fun to climb. If you'd call it climbing, you know, it was like a quick run up the hill. But otherwise, a lot of it's bushwalking. You know, like you're just going around, just exploring. There's all sorts of old like stuff going on out there. Behind our place, there was an old. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's gonna be a bit too close. That'll pinpoint me a bit. No, yeah. So yeah, no, lots of good fun out there. Have I been to the centre of the outback, which I'd assume to be Northern Territory sort of thing? No, that's one of the places I haven't been that far, because it's a long way. But I'd love to, and I'm dying to. What are Tim Tams? Tim Tams are a delicious chocolatey treat. It's like chocolate covered in a different type of chocolate, coated with more different types of chocolate, and it's just delicious. Yeah. You should all try and get your hands on Tim Tams. Alright. Where are we? Hashtag Heathen. How would you say your deconversion from being a J-dub differs from deconverting from other faiths? Well, I'm not sure if there's anything specific about it being a J-dub, because like I had it when it was for me, when I deconverted, it was like I couldn't imagine going into another sort of religion or a different type of woo or anything, because I'd already had that, like I'd already understood why all that was bullshit. But I know not everybody sort of goes into all that as a witness, so that might be different, who knows. But I think I got a little bit lucky in that, because I left an organisation and spent so long, like a decade or so, sort of as a theist, still believing in God and having a connection to Jehovah, as I thought, that my deconversion was really slow and stretched out, and it was very natural. So by the time I did hit this last year, it was a shock to my system, and wow, my head was still spinning really, but I didn't go through as extreme emotions. I don't get really angry about it. It's not like I have a hatred towards theists or anything like that. I sort of skipped a lot of these things that some people express that they went through. Yeah, I don't know. It could just be more to do with me though. Like, I'm a sort of laid back guy. I don't, especially when things start getting stressy, that's when I'll de-stress and step back, chill out, figure out what's going on, So I never really went there, which is good. It wasn't, I enjoy that. Grumpy about Messiah. 0. Do Aussies hate kangaroos? Nah, not really. Like, they're a nuisance when, they get up in your shit or they jump in front of your car. So they're a right pain in the ass, but we don't really hate them, no. They're we try and look after them. How do J-dubs feel about them? I have no friggin' clue. I don't think that, what? I don't know. I don't think there's any sort of connection there for them to feel different than what a normal Aussie would. Is pineapple on pizza? We've asked that one, so it's not an abomination. I actually like it. I'm sorry, Zero. I'm sorry, buddy. Prisma in the chat. How does it feel being a globehead Illuminati atheist shill? Trademarked. I love it. I just wish the pay was better. Hint, hint. I have a Patreon account, y'all know. I'd love it. Even just $1 a month. You can make my day. Wellington. I support Collingwood footy. What's your team? Oh, Wellington. I'm not really much of a sports person. I'm more like, if any sport, it'd be cricket, and even that I can't stand really to watch. And I don't even really like playing cricket that much either. It's just like, that was the one that I would play because we had a cricket pitch in our backyard and a massive paddock to smack the ball as hard as you want. The only downside to that was that you always had to go find the ball. Jesus. But anyway, yeah. If I was going to go any, it'd probably be the, Broncos or the Cowboys. And I only say that because it's sort of family thing. I won't go any further. Where am I? Who was I? Jesse Twig. We have a question. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? It depends, see, like, does that 100 duck-sized horses come to the same mass and power as that one horse? Like, or is it, like, a whole lot more than that? Maybe the 100 ducks is, like, 3 horses, you know? I don't know. So, I'd probably still go the ducks, though. I mean, wait, the duck-sized... Fuck me. The duck-sized horses. Okay, just getting down there. Alright, Zane Beal. How can you enforce scriptural standards when the so-called understanding changes? If lives are lost during that time, who's responsible? And have they walked away from their teachings? If so, are they apostates? Are they for real? Okay, how can you enforce scriptural standards when the so-called understanding changes? Well, that's a major hypocrisy, and they sort of overlook that with it is new light, and it's like a way of fooling themselves to believing that it's okay, and there's a good reason for it, you know, and they can ignore the obvious issues with it. If lives lost during the time, who's responsible? Unfortunately, the person that lost their life, according to them, they're responsible for doing the wrong thing. They sinned, and so they've, you know, or even if might be where they've not, you know, they've died because they purposely didn't sin, in air quotes, and then all of a sudden they've changed it after the fact. Basically, that's just on them for getting it wrong. They victim blame. Usually they will disfellowship the person too, to go, you know, they did something awful and that, you know, it's pretty bad. Have they walked away from their yeah, that's the way they will push it, yeah. And that they are apostates. So yeah, no, it's pretty nasty. I'm gonna check the chat. Hey Faye, good to see ya. And Heat Shield. G'day. Ah, no, Heat Shield, that's the Australian Broncos. Oh, Alias, you missed the answer to that. What is NotJah Witness's stuff? Who is the Emperor of Milky Way Galaxy? That would be Drive-By. I know that one. Might have to give me a second, y'all. And it sucks because I don't even have anyone here to like entertain you. But just give me a quick sec. All right, I had to make sure basically that there wasn't anybody down here. I was hearing things, and it was just the wind. Okie dokie. So. If we pay $1 saying hi, NotJah would be rich. Oh, I love you, Robert. Thank you. Hey, Vesta. I see you there. Carl, I'm going to butcher your name, sorry, but Calderhort? Calderhout? I don't know. Sorry. I'm not sure if my question can be answered by you. Let's try. Why US people have so many difficulties to grasp or understand French secularism laicite? Whoa. It exists in Belgium and in Swiss cantons of Geneva and Neuchâtel, or whatever. I probably butchered a lot of words there. I really do apologize, my friends. I cannot answer that question. I have no idea. I don't even understand. Like, whoa, went over my head, buddy. I do apologize, but that's not, yeah, definitely not my forte. Nothing else in the chat, I see. We're all having a good time. Hope everybody, likes and shares the show out. That always helps me, and I really appreciate it. We're going to move on through. The next question is from Latroon. Latroon. I hope I said that one right. Jesus, they're all a bit difficult. And I'm an Aussie, so that's my, everything sounds stupid coming from me. What can change the nature of a man? A sex change, I think. Sorry, bad joke. But, I don't know. What's the nature of a man? Or woman. But Ravel Puzzle Well asked that way, and I'm quoting the classics if I can. What can change? I don't know. Yeah, yourself. That's pretty much it. Like, I mean, it's just, it doesn't matter whether, as you say, man or woman, but what changes the nature of you? Yourself. For the most part, like, it depends on what part of you you're changing, describing. And I don't know that classic because I am a illiterate bastard. Nacho, do I have broncos or other wild horses? We have wild horses, definitely, yes. I mean, a lot of our old poetry is about it. Yeah, no, definitely. And we have wild camels too. As far as I recall, all the Middle Eastern camels are imported from here. As well as a lot of sand, which is really weird. Okay, Nick, Heretical Grey. What would you say the JDub/ex-JDub community is like in Australia? It's hard to tell. The JDub community is pretty much the same as everywhere else, for the most part. Maybe slightly more educated than in, like, America, just due to our public education systems. However, the ex-JDub community I don't actually really know many here in Australia. Yeah, I'm lonely, but I know others in the community, at least, that live nearby. I had sort of a meet up with a few yesterday. It was Grumpy Old Dave and Claus, so that was a good time. But yeah, no, I don't really know many ex-dubs here yet. I'm sure there's lots of them out there and stuff, though. It's a matter of finding them. Amy Jackson, what do you think about the cartoons produced by the Dub organisation? I think they're appalling. They're cringeworthy. And I have every intention on doing a few more videos on those cartoons. I just sort of... I suppose I took a bit of a break from them specifically when Telltale started doing them, because I noticed that he was, pointing out a lot of the things that I was thinking of pointing out. So I'm like, okay, it's not that I won't do it, it's just I wanted to take another look and a fresh look at it without having all that in my mind still. So I'm not just literally accidentally copying him. I want it to be my work, So yeah, I'm not a fan of those cartoons. What drugs do you take to survive a Psy-Strike movie night? From Brantley. Here, my usual. I don't normally drink until almost the end of the show, because for me that's just through the day, and I don't like drinking through the day. So yeah, my usual. If you know me, you know. No more over that. Bad Tempered Badger on Twitter asks, do you have a favourite song, and if so, what is it? Ooh, to pinpoint one is really difficult, because, and I mean, any different time of the year, like as weeks and months go on, I'll have a different song that I'm really, really into for that phase, you know, and then I'll move on to something else, something new will hit me, or I'll come back to listening an old one that I really enjoy. And I also have a really vast musical taste. And lately it's gotten even bigger because I'm listening to stuff that like a year or two ago would have never listened to. Just poppy kind of newer stuff, and it's normally not my sort of style, but I've been really getting into it. But anyway, if you're going to pick any sort of genre, it'd be like metal, heavy, rock kind of style. Almost any age from, you know, 50s onwards is good. I like a whole lot of music. So yeah, you know, you'd be better off just going, hey, do you like this song? You know, and I'll be yes or no. Alright, Bad Tempered Badger again. Have you ever shot an arrow from a bow? Yes, I have. I'm not very good at it. Unfortunately, I'm somewhat limited with what I can do with a bow, but I have done it. It was not a really good bow, and it wasn't like a crossbow or anything like that. But my old man had one that was a proper archer's bow, and I couldn't for the life, like, I'd never be able to use it. I'd have to get a crossbow, but they're illegal, so a bit of a shame. What do I like, slow roast or how old am I today? I am 1 year old, because it's my YouTube birthday. So I've been here for exactly 1 year, and I'm like, yay! Oh, look at Prisma, I love you, dude. Thank you all. I really appreciate the support, I do. You're so kind. Hey, Spooky! Just saw you. Nice to see you. Awesome. Alright, we'll jump back into the questions. Have I ever hit anything with an arrow shot from a bow? Yes, but again, it wasn't the proper bow. You know, it was just a cheap, shitty one. Because I mean, we had ones that we'd make as well. So that's how, like, because especially for me, I needed ones that I could use. So yeah, no, you can get good, but they're just not like my one. I wouldn't have been able to use for hunting, just not powerful enough. And we were kids, so. Favorite dinosaur? Oh, badger. Favorite dinosaur? Oh man. I mean, you're asking these hard questions. Like come on. Well, look, your next question is favorite animal. Favorite animal, you know, even that, it'd be a list. Tigers, snakes, friggin' kitty cats. Like, they're all living now. Like, I'm a floof guy. Like, come on. So then, you know, favorite dinosaur. I don't know. You know how many dinosaurs there are? They're freaking awesome. God, I'd have to really, you know, I think that, like, long term, probably something like Spinosaurus, just because it's got a real cool visual appeal, and then they put it in the Jurassic Park movie, and I thought that was really cool, even though the movie's shit. But yeah, I don't know. I'll go with that. We'll go with Spinosaurus, or Parasaurolophus, if like herbivore and a carnivore. Yeah, Parasaurolophus would be my herbivore. What guns have I fired? God damn it. If I could remember, because I know we had like 3 or so guns. I mean, still do. It's just, I don't get to play with them anymore because we're in the city. But I only got to use the small one, so whatever that was, a rifle, single bolt, you know. I'm good with guns like that. This is why I don't have a gun license, so don't be mistaken in thinking that these were mine. They're my family's who has a license. So yeah, some dinosaurs. What I don't, Vesta, in regards to the dinosaurs with feathers, I don't like how a lot of people have overdone the feathers thing, where they seem to think all dinosaurs had feathers, and that's just not true. And even the ones that did, they weren't all of them weren't all like covered everywhere. Some of them had different patterns, and some of them had the feathers in certain areas, you know. And this has all been shown, and you know, people still think that, oh no, they all have feathers now. I don't know. Anyway, I do like the look of them, like the style they did for the velociraptors, what they call velociraptors. If they'd just done a little bit more of that, like sort of the head crests and the neck, that looked really cool. But if they made it, you know, too feathery, it would have been a bit hard to render. Possibly, I don't know. Do you have a book series that you recommend everyone read? I haven't read a... I'm so bad with reading, I won't lie. I'm not much of a reader. I spent decades reading literature from the dubs, so... And then I spent a couple years reading textbooks for friggin' high school, university. I haven't really gotten my reading bug bitten back. Just to be honest. The last series I sort of started reading was the Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, and I got like halfway through the friggin' first one and my cat pissed on the book and ruined it, and I've never gotten back to buying it again. And the person that I was borrowing those books off isn't in my life anymore. So if there was one I'd recommend, though, I'd say that one, because they're fun. So far, anyway. Favorite Star Wars film? The none of them. And I'll answer for the records. Favorite Star Trek? The none of them. You guys can enjoy it all you like. It's not for me. Opinion on Battenberg. What the fuck is Battenberg? Badger? What is... Badger, are you here? Badger. I'm going to badger you. Where's Badger? Answer me this. What is Battenberg? I'm going to have to freaking Google this, aren't I? I have to Google something in the middle of my stream. Oh no, now I just fucking lost myself. Oh no. All things gone wrong. I have to find it now because I've accidentally clicked away and then I freaking lost where I was. Where are we? Yep, no, keep going, keep going, keep going. We're almost there, Badger. There, I found Badger again. Alright, so Battenberg. Battenberg. What's my favourite true crime story? It'd definitely be a lot of the mafia stuff in the 30s, 20s and stuff. Like from Lucky to Capone, whatever, you know. They are fascinating to me. And even into the more modern mafia, or the representation of it anyway. Who's your daddy? Battenberg is a cake? It can't just be a cake. It can't... Is he... Badger asking me about a goddamn cake? Opinion on Battenberg. Well, look, if you're talking about the cake, it looks delicious. But I don't know. It just looks like a... It just looks like a nice sponge cake to me, so... Covered in jam. Yeah, you know. Sure. Looks delicious. Jesus, Badger's asked a lot of questions. Shocking, but oh yeah, hashtag. Okay, last one from Badger. In what way do cultish groups most damage their members? Well, the more extreme ones, when it comes to death, that's pretty damaging. I mean, there's not much you can heal for that. That's normally you're done. And the worst thing is that they all make each other believe that it's, oh, they'll be alright in another life. When, no, that was it. That was their time. That's pretty damaging, because they can, you know, not help people that need help, in many different ways. And then the next one is when they will, for me anyway, in my opinion, just shunning, where they will just happily destroy families, destroy lives, just for their belief, you know. Yep, no, you're correct, Mark. I've heard of it, never watched it. The Young Ones. My apologies. Yeah, so it was a type of cake, spooky. Cool, okay. Alrighty, so, moving along to Mooney Looney. What time do you want me to come over with the lube? Ah, you sexy thing, you. Prince of all Cyans, or Prince of Atheism. If you could end one of these for the rest of human existence in a heartbeat, what would you end and why? And afterwards, why not the other instead? Religion or religious extremism? Inherently, I would say that if you get rid of religion, you get rid of religious extremism. So that to me would be the only logical answer. Just to get rid, you get rid of both. And so why not the other? Well, because that only gets rid of the one. And then it still leaves the seeds of, like, it doesn't take religious extremism to be harmful. There are just harms to your everyday or believing everyday religion. Sup, Brian? Good to see you. Alright, last one I think on the Twitter. Kevin the Atheist from Cape Town. Why does the Watchtower print these wonderful science articles but reduces it to God's work? I mean, there is no correlation in how animals have adapted to their environment and how God's hand had a role in this adaptation. They're quite fond of doing this, and this is something that it fooled me, because they do strike a vein of science in them. And so you go along thinking, yep, we can listen to all the science, and this is why, like, people like me will go even further and go, well, evolution may as well be true. It's just God's behind it. And that it's a way of kind of widening the goalposts and keeping your members when otherwise they might have been closer to falling out through their own doubt. But anyway, that was the Twitters. I'm just going to double check nobody's asked anything new in the meantime. Yes, there we go. Wonder Lady, what do you think of people who climb Mount Everest? Do you think people should climb Mount Everest? Yes and no. I think there's... To me, it's a bit like Uluru, where if you're allowed by the people, in any way that, it might or might not be. I'm just saying, in principle, if it's allowed by the people there, your locals and stuff, then absolutely, with respects to the environment and the culture and everything like that, if it's allowed, sure. I see no inherent issue with that. Same with Uluru. But the problem is when it is not allowed, or it's felt as disrespectful, and we do it anyway. That's a little bit on the nose. Like, I mean, I feel like there should be a way around that. There should be a way to make both sides happy, instead of just going, well, you want this, but we want this, so fuck you, we're going to do this. No matter how damaging or disrespectful we are about it. That's where there's a real problem. As for, doing Everest, especially with the real risk of danger and death, I don't have any issue with people taking their life into their own hands. Especially if they're at least going about it as safely as possible. If they're not literally going up there to die, they're going up there to live. It's a hell of an experience, like skydiving. You don't skydive going, well, I'm going to die. You have full faith that you've got all the equipment needed to keep yourself alive when you touch down. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. So if it's on that respect, yeah, like if it's on risk and stuff, no, go hard. It's the same with any extreme sport. I have no issue. And in fact, if my body wasn't as fucked, I'd be doing it myself. The extreme sports, that is, I should clarify. What is the worst thing about religious fundamentalism in regards to the populace, in your opinion? From Prisma. The general sense of not having, do no harm to others, no harm be done to you, sort of thing like that. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and you can even be a little bit of a prick about it. You can get in people's face about it, but you've got to still maintain a level of no harm done one way or the other. So a lot of people fundamentally on both sides can be instigators, where they will push and poke until they get a good reaction that they can have fun with. These sorts of things I don't really enjoy on either side, and that's obviously a lot more extreme on one side than the other, but alas, my thoughts. Exactly, Heat Shield. What new level of hell is this? How you doing, Ob? Doing a Q&A. I'll have to mute. No. Should be alright. Alright. Oh, you want to go out? Okay, Puppo wants to go out. Give me 2 seconds and I'll let the Puppo out. Okie dokie. Hope that wasn't too boring. Like 20 seconds. Oh, and g'day, Atheist T-Girl. I did see you there before. I forgot to say hello. Do apologise. Did I ever see rampant discrimination? Yes and no. Like, it wasn't overt, like, gay bashing or, misogyny outright or anything like that. But there is an underlying tone of it within the structure, just inherently within the Bible, it's going to come out. But from my experience, they're nowhere near as extreme as some other faiths. But at the same time, that could also just be the cultural thing of being in Australia, where in general we haven't got the level of extremity to our religious groups. Did I miss anything? Oh, I don't think there was any questions. Do you watch John Cedars? Yes, I do. Probably not as much as I'd like to. I try and catch as much of his stuff as I can. And Telltale and Kevin McFree from Dubtown. He's probably my favourite channel on YouTube still. Like, I don't think anyone comes close to Kevin's level of creativity and hard work. He's just brilliant. But anyway, where was I? I think I just finished with the tweeter, so I'll jump over to me community tab. I have a question from Clade. Pros and cons of needing to run your channel anonymously. Things like this, where I'm always worried about muting and people seeing my screens, and and then the harsh reality of why I'm doing it. That's a real downside. The pros, I suppose, it gives me a lot more editing to do. Because, like, I can't just stick a camera in front of me and talk to the camera. I have to fucking do all this bullshit just to get a video out. No, well, there are pros. Like, being anonymous is fun. I can play around with my voice. The avatars are fun. I don't have to dress up, obviously. I can sit here naked. Kevin McFree. I will link. Well, I probably won't link because I'm lazy, but I will. McFree. You should be able to find him with that. He does the Lego Dubtown, and it's just the best. It's just the best. You can't beat it. Okay, so yeah, pros. What's another pro? It's got to be another pro. Yeah, it's not really as big of a deal as, like, there's not that many good sides out of it. Like, if I wanted to be a twat, sure, I could go out and be a twat. But then that's just, like, yay, I'm personally anonymous here, but at the same time, I'm still building a brand. And that brand is all over the place, so I can't just go, like, I have no interest in it, but I couldn't just go out in, be a troll, and expect, oh, I'm anonymous. It's like, no, like, that's not an advantage I have. So, don't know. I mean, I hope that's helped. Are you off, Atheist? See you later. Or am I misreading that? I might be. Wait. This is sound of silence. Yeah, I don't know. If you sorry if you're not off, but if you are, have a good one. Laura Jarrell wants to know, is my hair long? She pictures me with long hair, don't know why. This is a interesting question for a world's first. It was long. It is no longer long. However, I don't have an updated avatar, so it's probably going to stay long on my avatar because I'm not keeping it short. It's going to grow out again. And her second question, do I have pets? Yes, I have a doggo. Mark Caesar has asked, what would it take for a believer to start doubting the supposed reality of the God they believe in? What would it take for an atheist to start putting any belief into the concept of a God? What good and bad experiences have you had in and out of religion, and would those experiences have any influence on your religiosity? For the first one, start doubting the God. It really depends on what it is holds them to their God. That's what you have to figure out. And if you can find a way to make them doubt that and question that, then you're gonna find that path away, and you can at least foster it. But it depends. Like some people, it'll be realizing like their organization is lying about something. Another, it could be where they find out like their church is involved in the child pedophilia stuff, and that throws them. There is a million different things. Other people, it's just literally doctrinal stuff that they don't see eye to eye with their church anymore. It really depends on where their heart is, because you can try and show reason to somebody as much as you like, but if their heart is sold on something, they're going to see like in tunnel vision, basically. As for atheists to put belief in the concept of a God, this one's a lot easier. Evidence. What good and bad experience have you had in and out of religion? So that's a very broad question. Lots. I've explained a few of the worst ones within. Some of the good experiences in religion was that because we do the door-to-door, and out in the country, you'd travel between towns because, your congregation is only small, but the amount of people in the towns is scattered like crazy. So you'd be traveling for hours and hours, going to different places. For me, that's a lot of fun. I love exploring, I love traveling, I love seeing different places, and basically meeting new people. So that was a positive for me. Excuse me. Positive is sort of similar out, because here I am doing this, meeting all these wonderful people. That's pretty much been my experience since, and it has been a lot of fun. Would those experiences influence your religiosity? Not really. Because for me, the experiences were separate to the doctrine, the belief, the God. Even the church was different than that, because I left the church, but I stayed with God, basically. I no longer associated myself with the Jehovah's Witnesses, or didn't go to the meetings anymore, but I still believed in Jehovah. Hello from Trickstar. As on Aussie, can you tell me if Australia exists? Because flat earthers seem to think it doesn't. Well, guess what? Australia does exist. Although, I might be lying to you. Wellington. How do we debunk non-dominant religions, the dom being Christianity in the Americas, Europe, New Zealand, Aussie land, without coming across as anti-immigrant or racist, speaking against Islam or Buddhism in the Bible-based faith areas? And how would we know if we're actually harboring some racism or bigotry? Because you can't be all, I hate Islam, if you're racist against Middle Eastern people. First, you've got to address the bigotry, learn new ways of thinking, then go after the ideas. Yes, I completely agree with you. Basically, the way a lot of us are doing it over there, or over here in Australia, over there in America, over in Europe even, and a lot of our sort of places are sort of we're going to two extreme sides and stick into those extremes and not calming down and just evaluating the situation. We have sort of stopped listening to each other, which is a shame. So yeah, it's a tough one to do, because like there are valid concerns with immigration anywhere. You want it to be in check and all above board, but at the same time you don't want to be coming across as, like you don't want to pigeon certain types of people. And this is something that I see a lot of us, not us, but the governments and stuff are doing. And it's troubling, because that's not addressing the issue. Like, we should be addressing the actual issue of it, creating whatever immigration laws or legislation surrounding the actual problem, not just pigeoning it on a certain type of people. Because that's just a load of shit. Like, it's stupid. There's no logic to that. Christy, is there anything that you miss from your active J-dub? No, I don't think so. No, yeah. If I think of something, I'll let you know though. All right, second last question here. Oh wow, okay. Whoa, lots of questions. No, okay, lots of questions. Holy shit. My lovely Joan has asked me a few. Am I succeeding in rebuilding a social network after leaving the faith? Yeah, well, I did a few times though. So I've sort of succeeded and then failed and then succeeded again. Because being that I left the actual sort of religion so many years ago, through my teenager life, I made friends, and we had a huge group of friends. It was lots of fun. Parties all the time. But life got in the way, after school everyone goes their own way and stuff. So now it's sort of this group of friends. I don't have too much of a problem with social networking. Like, I like people. I'm just sometimes, I'm a bit inherently shy. So I don't necessarily always make the first move. But no, I think I'm doing pretty good. Do you have a close friend at the moment other than online? I do. One person specifically comes to mind, but annoyingly we barely ever see each other, like maybe once a year, which is really frustrating. Excuse me. Do you experience difficulty in trusting people? Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, I might also overcompensate for that and then trust people I shouldn't too easily. But I try and keep on top of it. Like, I try and assess each person to their own merit. So, do you think there are family members that are likely to follow you and leave the faith? I fucking hope so. That's sort of the point. So I really do hope so. Has someone found out my identity yet? Not from online. There are people that I've told, but nobody has found out or anything, no. I've had people try to search and connect them and have failed to do that, so hopefully you won't be able to. But yeah. What was your favourite Bible story as a child? I, weirdly enough, really enjoyed the Jonah story. I don't know what, like, I think it's because I like I just like wildlife, like, I like animals, and it was just the biggest picture of a friggin' sperm whale or something in the My Book of Bible Stories, and it's a great picture, aside from the fact that it's eating a dude. Yeah. Like, virtually nothing to do with the actual Bible story itself. But, well, okay, Bible story, probably the parable of the Good Samaritan. Because just in general, I like the idea that somebody considers you a neighbour or your friend or your family or whatever, that sort of, you're tight, you're close, despite not knowing you and not even being from the same, culture, race, religion, whatever it is. And still just being perfectly happy, reaching out your hand to help. But, yeah, that that was what I took away from it when I was young, and to me that sounds like a good message. Where is the now? I've lost. There's too many questions. Where am I? Okay. What is the story verse or verses you hate most from the Bible that had a very negative impact on me? Strangely enough, the ones that I hate most now are the ones that I used to love. The one, you know, promising perfection, you know, no more, it will shed every tear from your eye, death will be no more, nor mourning or outcry nor pain will be any more, the former things have passed away. Because that was my strand of hope. And so I hate it now because I know that that was all bullshit, and it led me on for my whole life. So probably that one, that's what comes to mind. If you could change one single thing about the Watchtower to make, or the organisation, to make things more bearable for the believers, what would it be? Shut it down. No, that's probably not what you were thinking, is it? I would take out the system of power, like the connection they claim to God, to their flock. I would eliminate that, because without that, a lot of the faith would be gone. If they weren't able to proclaim themselves to have some sort of connection to God as the one true religion. You feel your religious upbringing still has an influence on how you live today? Absolutely, in a lot of ways. And it's interesting, though, because now I try and pick up on it, and I reassess the way I live. You know, once I notice that, oh, this is something that might have lingered on from before, I'll think over it again, and like it might be what I think of certain things, or you know, whatever. Like even media. Like I've always not gotten into fantasy anything. That's why I don't really like Star Wars, Star Trek. All that's just too out of the reality for my liking. And now I'm sort of like, okay, do I have to reassess that? And I reassess that. Still don't like shit like that, so it didn't help. Didn't change me, but it's something that I do. I'll rethink, like, okay, is there something in my mind that was, you know, doing this from being religious? Because obviously fantasy as well with JWs, none of that is appropriate. You know, that's all apostate material. You can't watch that. Sinning Satan's media. Any occasions where I still enter a Kingdom Hall? Yes, I'm actually going to be doing that very soon. In a week or so, I'm going to be going into the Circuit Assembly to watch a talk, I suppose, a presentation or two. Yeah, that'll be interesting, and I'll have some fun stuff to come back with after that. So, if asked, would you lead in prayer? Hell no. And if not, how would you decline? Well, I wouldn't say hell no. I probably wouldn't be asked, to be honest. But if I was to be asked, I would just sort of shake my head, be like, yeah, no, thank you. You know, you can do it. Would you lie about your atheism when talking to someone very old to either spare their feelings or avoid the difficulty of explaining? Yeah, no, not even just somebody very old, but especially people that, because of where I am at in life, I have to be careful with some people that I tell. So there are people that I will be, you know, a JW again for, or not a JW, but, you know, I'll still pretend to believe it all, because I could pull that off before without being an actual witness, so it's not that hard. Last question on the YouTube's communities from Weird Gegler. How come a high percentage of ex-dubs grow beards, end up with addictions, and or kill themselves? And now that is a real hard question, but there's a lot of truth to it. So that's a serious question. They grow beards because you're not allowed, men can't have beards or long hair. That's not acceptable. The addictions is because of how strict they are on not taking any kind of substance of any sort. Even alcohol is, you sort of not meant to. You can have a few drinks, but you can't get intoxicated. That's why a lot of current witnesses do end up with alcohol problems, hidden alcohol problems, because it's the only thing they can do. And so there's a lot of the time when they do come out, they go nuts with it. They can now suddenly do all of it, can't they? There's no reason not to. There's a lot of people, it's literally God holding them back. Like, there are people that I've heard saying, if it wasn't for Jehovah, I would have killed these people, this person. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. You know, like, that's scary. But that's, you know, what people will put onto their belief, you know. And kill themselves. That bit is, it is really lonely and scary, and a lot of them lose everything when they leave. They lose everything. You very easily fall into an intense depression, and coupled with loneliness, you more than likely lost all your friends and family, possibly even your home, depending on what your setup is. It can be really bad. So I think a lot of it is because of what they're coming out of. This is a lot of the reason why we call them a cult, not just a religion. Because a religion sounds like it's innocent, but it's not. So, moving on from that one. Is that my real voice from Native Atheist? No, it's for the most part it is, but it's slightly adjusted. And do I actually have a mullet? I've never had a mullet. Brian Stevens, if color flashlight a torch, what you call a stick with fire on the end for light? What? A fire torch? I don't know. Flashlight. God damn it, Americans. Flashlight. I love it. I love the different words. I can't remember what show it was, but they pointed that out, how like in flashlight here and torch over there. And yeah, anyway. I've murdered exactly as many people as I want to. 0. That number is 0. Good on you, Prisma. That's the way to be. If not sci-fi fantasy, what sort of fiction entertainment do you like? Basically anything else that can be, in my mind, sort of sounds weird, but in my mind it can be based in reality. So, like, Independence Day, the movie Independence Day, bad CGI and bad acting, whatever, but back in the day, a great movie. That is just close enough, like, it's just like a little step outside of reality. The only thing is, there's aliens, and they don't even diverse, like, it's one type of alien, you know, like, they've kept it quite simple in the unrealistic side of it. Whereas something like Star Wars, it's way too many things for my brain to go and understand, because it's not really there's not a lot of what I see in reality, and so I can't connect with it. I don't know why my brain works that way, but it does. So pretty much, I'm just trying to think of a more accurate answer. I want to actually give you an example, but I mean, I like a lot of real life stuff, docos and stuff, but I like action movies, I like thrillers, you know, horrors if they're good. Like, thrillers and horrors are pretty hard to find a good one, but I used to be a movie guy. Like, I used to work in movie shops, and I've got a couple thousand movies, and they're all sorts of different types, but more than likely the majority of them be action comedies, you know, drama, and then everything real life, TV, you know, docos sort of crap. Or like, bloody, what's his name? Explorer guy. Anything, you know, showing off the world. Bear Grylls, or the Edinburgh. You know, but that goes back, that's not fiction, see, so. Anyway. Can I confirm Team Skeptic has a mullet? I wish I could. I'd like to confirm it. We'll have to get Team Skeptic to send me a picture of himself. If Jehovah turns out to be real, what would you grab out of your house to take to hell? Well, see, that's where you're sort of... If Jehovah was real, there wouldn't be a hell. So, it doesn't make sense. Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in hell. In the Bible, when asked what happens, you know, when you die, you basically, it's like a long sleep. You're done and dusted, unconscious. That's their excuse anyway. And but for the most part, that's real. That's what happens. And that's what they believe. There's no hell. There is a heaven, but hell is sort of just death. It's Sheol. It's to die. So it's a bit different. Wouldn't take anything. Alright, I'll go back over to... So we're done with the community ones. We're done with the Twitter ones. There was a couple more. I think. I can't remember where they were. Oh, they were the ones on the community. Wasn't there more? Oh, no, that's right, Discord. Almost. Alrighty, Discord. So, Cyrus has asked, why are you so smex? It's because I'm Australian, mate. Comes with the territory. Why you got the best hair? Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Why you look so good in maid dress? Well, when you're sexy without no clothes, you're going to be sexy with clothes. So, it just happens. Cyrus, I think he's hitting on me here. Oh, that was his. Okay, yeah. Love you too, Cyrus. Woo! Terry, Kiwis don't know anything. They wouldn't... Oh, okay, that's just yelling at me for... Because in my Discord, I've named the channel Ask the Kiwi. And so my fellow Aussie, Terry, is, picking on me about that. Fair enough. Ola, what's my favourite genre of music, film, video game? I sort of hit on a few of them already. Video game, definitely like first-person shooters or racing games. Or simulators, just in general. Again, goes back to the reality. It's like I like things that are based in reality. It's annoying. So like I won't play, jumping around with superpowers and plasma guns and whatnot. Like that's not really my style. How did I come up with my avatar? I basically told Trey, who is out of TC Baldwin, is the bloke who does my avatar and Iwan's avatar and a bunch of them. I just said, here's a picture of me. Make it close enough to be me, but different enough that people won't actually recognize me. And so, yeah, that's pretty much as close as what you're going to get to what I look like. What's my favourite book? Already sort of touched on that one with, it'd be I'd say the Vampire Chronicles if you want to go fiction. But again, I would go back to, I actually prefer things like textbooks. I like them. I like learning. So like even an encyclopedia, if they did them in book form anymore. Holy crap, I've missed a few questions. Hold up. Leave me thinking, have you seen the movie Powder? No, I haven't, Doc. I haven't seen that one, mate. Oh, it's, actually, I might have. Just give me a sec. Now that I think about it. It sounds strangely familiar. Who's it? No, okay. No, I haven't seen that one. Wow. Alright. That'll be interesting to watch. I'll have to try and get that one. Fine. If my house is on fire, what would you grab? Yeah, I get you now. Okay. Sorry, dude. I totally obviously thought of a different, I thought you were going in a different direction there. I've got a backpack with, life's essentials in it. That would always be the first thing I grab no matter what. Because basically that, if I lose everything, I need that. It's going to keep me alive. I'd grab my hard drive, which is good because I can just literally grab it, throw it in the backpack, and we're good. Because that's all my videos and like everything that I need. I can give up all the computer. I just want the hard drive. And if I was going to grab anything else, maybe my camera, the DSLR, and I mean, the only other thing I'd have real hardship letting go of would be all my Lego, but that's replaceable, so I'd let go of my Lego. I love Lego. If anyone wants to send me just randomly for no reason something, send me Lego. Any Lego, all the Lego, as long as it's proper Lego, like not weird Lego. I just like normal Lego. But I'll take all your Lego. But then Kevin will hate me because he wants all the Lego. Send him all the Lego. Don't send me Lego. Send Kevin the Lego. That way he can make bigger and better sets for Dubtown. Oakley Dokley. What is the weirdest shower thought you ever had? What do you classify as weird? I don't know. I don't normally think much in the shower. I normally sing. Like, I'll have a song in my head, you know? So, I don't know. Normally it's something like, what would I do if a spider crawled up the drain right now? Holy crap, lots of things again. Okay. So, how do I keep my teeth so white? Unfortunately, I don't. I have unfortunate dental problems. They're mostly white. They're just I need to go see a dentist. That's all. Why are there no spaces whatsoever between your teeth? Are they good? Well, that's on Trey. Go blame Trey. Where are we? It's moving too fast. Mark, are you conscientious enough to be a blood donor, to be on the organ donor registry, to be the bone marrow donor registry? I am not yet. I do intend on actually going in that direction, though. I want to look more into what, what state of health I'm in. Because, like, I don't even know if I'd be eligible to donate blood with all of my organ problems and stuff. But it'd be something I'd now consider, whereas before I never did because it was the blood thing. Heading off. Main gun. Have a great one, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. Manual for creating Atheist phenomenal book. I love it. Ooh, thank you. Do send me like that in a DM or something as well, Christy, so that way it doesn't disappear in the live chat, which it likely will. You asked for it. I'm sending you all the Lego pics from your other fair enough. I don't mind that. I love Lego. Go for it, Heat Shield. Okay, I think we're on a Lego required. Yep, alright. Whoa, you haul move. Jesus, mate. That's a lot of Lego. Send it to me. I have like one small bucket worth, and I've managed to make a train, or a road train out of it. Next question is from Robert X. If you could change one thing in your past, not religion related, as that would be too easy, what would it be? And don't say I wish I didn't meet Cyrus either, since I like him. I don't know why, because nobody does. Anybody? Of course we like Cyrus. Except I would have liked him more if he hung around. I haven't seen him talk for a while. I think he's fallen asleep. But I love you, Cyrus. If I could change anything in my past, it's somewhat religious based, but it would be my birth and how I was born. I would have liked to have had a bit, better run with that, so that I could do the normal things. Pine Snake, why do you think it's important to promote other content creators within the atheist community, especially newer ones? Well, why do I think? Well, of course it's important. It's the same. Like, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am without the bigger creators that found me. I just would not have all of you here without Shannon having found me, without Godless Engineer giving me a chance, and Island giving me a chance, and Cyrus giving me a chance. Like, y'all have watched, well, maybe not all of you, but I know I can see a few names in there that you've been around for long enough to know that I'm nowhere here without all of those fine people that have helped me get here. And more importantly, that's a lot of you guys too, because, you are what make up my channel. So it kind of goes back to you. Thank you very much. I do love yous all. Do you think it's important for people to voice their experiences of deconverting, if it's safe for them to do so? I do. I think it is. You need to find like-minded people, especially when you're coming out of a cult or a religion, that you need to find those people that have had similar experiences so that you don't feel alone. You need that. That is very important. This could be either starting their own channel or joining a social media platform such as Discord. Yes, no, but these things are very important. That's why what I said before is one of my pieces of advice would be to find like-minded people, find people that have come out of the same group and that have found strength, and you can learn from them, and they can help you get through some of the worst things, which is fantastic. Seraphim asks, was I really the first to fangirl? Yes, you were. Zenith asks, why ask a Kiwi? Because again, back to my Discord, it's got the channel named Ask the Kiwi, which is where all my questions are. Well, because there's a running gag around these parts that I'm a Kiwi. I don't know if you've heard. Hola. What do you make of the belief some Christians have that nothing in the Old Testament is true and the world didn't exist before the New Testament? So they think only the New Testament is canon. Yeah, I've heard of that, but I find it to be a little bit hypocritical. But you know, what isn't? What isn't hypocritical when it comes to looking at the Bible? You can take any or all of it. I mean, that's pretty much what all religions do. So it's no worse than the others, if that counts. I see you, Elias. High fives in the chat. Christy, you're awesome. Okay, we're getting there. Seraphim them asks, drop bears, how dangerous are they? Well, as I said, it only takes one to take down a big red roo. It only takes one to take down a full-grown human. So they're pretty dangerous. You don't want to get surprised by one. Oh, look, we got some more people showing up in my Discord. Hello, people. Okie dokie. So, that is all of the preset questions that I had. Oh, wait, no, one more. From Mrs. Snarky. Why are you so damn awesome, NotJah? I think this is a lot like Cyrus's questions, why I'm so smexy. It comes with being Australian, mate. Like, it just is. You're Australian, then you're awesome. Yeah, we're done. Good question there, Snarky. I love it. Anyone else in the chat, feel free to ask me some more questions. This is your chance, because it's, you know, now I'm watching you guys. Need to take a drink. All that talking. Yeah. So, while I'm waiting for any possible new questions, oh, hello, Brantley. If I had 3 wishes, but already used 2, would you free the genie or believe in God because you have a magical genie? What? Okay, so the magical genie is God, so I believe in God, but I still have a wish? Why would I free the genie? Does he need freeing? I didn't think he needed freeing. He can live in his little lamp. I want my very own Robin Williams in a lamp. Not Will Smith. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, unless we got some more questions coming my way. How long have we been going? I haven't been paying attention. 93 minutes! Jesus, mate. You're going for ages. Might have to cut her down soon, because might be about that time. Unless you know, more questions, throw them at me now. This is the last chance. Otherwise, everyone, yay, happy birthday to me. Make sure you go and check out my Discord, if you haven't already. There's lots of cool things going on there. There's Naked NotJah if you're really interested. I won't tell you exactly where it is. You've got to find that one. You can throw your suggestions my way. You can chat to me on, you know, just any time, basically. I'm always hanging around on the Discord, so come and join us. It's a lot of fun. Also, if you don't, you know, don't completely hate me, maybe think about throwing me $1 on Patreon. It really might be nothing out of your back pocket every month, but just $1 can go a long way to help me. And it all goes back into the channel. I try and basically keep it either... at the moment, I'm spending half of the Patreon income on other content creators, and then the other half is sort of slowly accumulating so that I can keep upgrading my computer. Other than that, I do also have an Amazon list. I will actually grab a link for that, because these are things that I really need really quickly, well, for the most part anyway, so that I can improve my game. The YouTube game, that is. The main thing I need off of this list, I shall explain once I just grab this link, is at the top of the list. It's a wall mount for my new screen. I have a big old screen, but it's sitting behind me because I've no way to mount it up on my wall without this mount. So I'd love you, you know, anyone feels generous. Why can't I link in my own YouTube? Are you serious? Oh, that's pretty shoddy. I mean, okay, I'm gonna have to put a few space bars in here, so like figure it out. Do I have to take away all the space bar? Hopefully this shit works now. Yeah, there we go. You just take out the space bars and you'll be right. No, this is not an 8-hour live stream. Absolutely not. So Prisma, how's your birthday going so far? I'm going to have to ask that one in a second, sorry. Actually, well, look, y'all can read the good question. It's gone alright so far. Had to work, but other than that, that's alright. I actually got a little sick earlier today too, which wasn't too fun. Why exactly do they not really do holidays? I'll come back to that one, mate. Mark Caesar, don't you dare, no, I can know. What? Who's making me cry? What is the best way to make me cry? If you go back a day, Mark, and look at my Twitter, you'll learn what makes me cry. Now what am I doing? So I'll try and answer. I just got to be a little bit quiet. They don't. There's a lot of doctrinal things. It depends which holiday you're talking about. So like Christmas, for example, it's not really Jesus' birthday, and it's a whole thing where in the Bible it doesn't say anywhere to celebrate anything but the memorial of his death, which most people do, and it's Easter. But even that. So I might have to just mute for a quick second, y'all. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, back to it. With Easter, you'll be looking at, again, it's a lot of pagan traditions and stuff that they just reject, and they sort of are purists about things like that. So birthdays, same thing. Pretty much all of them have some sort of pagan tradition. But yeah. Yeah, Doc. Woohoo! 1 year old. I should be like, wah, 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 and shitting my pants. Yeah. Maybe throw $1,000 at me. That'll make me cry. Oh, shit. Just don't do that. That's too much. That's a bit silly. But she's been a big part of your life without them. Yes and no, because like a lot of that was the fun of being a kid and enjoying them. So now I'm alone, just sitting around, and it's not the same. Like there's a lot that I missed out on, and now trying to enjoy it, all I know is that I missed out on a lot. Like it's not quite the same. Yeah, I linked that. That's cool. So we're sweet there. Was there any more questions? I think that was it, and I'm probably getting in a tight spot at the moment for being able to talk, so it'd probably be the best time for me to bow out. Christy, you're lovely. Alright, so we will disappear. I do want to just do another quick shout out for my Patreon and my Discord. I mean, if you can throw me $1, throw me $1. If you can't, at least come say hello to me on Discord. I always like chatting there. It's good fun. Lots of silly things going on. So anyway, everyone, thank you very much. Be a mate. Click all the buttons. I've been your imaginary underworld apostate, NotJah Witness, and cheers for watching.